right, biamono kegima omwancho mo ligererio kisi TV ogendrete kubwati murobere bwenyoni emambia rero una nagote bilia rero nigoto kunyara kwanera igoro yamangana yobo chenu bwabana nene mono balibare asechi nyomba cyo kunyara kurendu na orphanage na foster care homes na keko gerana lipolia rero mbota bageni babere bakonyara gwekera na ase studio. Of course ninchi kunyara gochencho munone kidogo herito kunyara komera na sama umoroche kidogo bakabiche binzambe kono konya kuyegereranga nandara tumye kegusina ongiboire mwachamila ni mtumwa. Here I am today, I'm supposed to use English. Unajua kizungu ilikujanga Kenya na meli. Alafu kwetu ikafika na baiskeli. Kabla mimi nishike upepo shwe. It carried the English and it left it. I don't know today you want to embarrass me on my program, but I'm ready. I'm up to the task. Thank you so much for joining my breakfast show. It goes by the name Enyoni. Enyoni is a bird, an early bird. Yeah, so we wake up and wake people. Already I've taken some few worms. I don't know if you'll get some too.
Absolutely.
But welcome, feel at home. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, say hello to my viewer. Tell her or him what is your name, where have you come from, how are your people, where do you work, and what are you looking forward to talk about today?
Okay. Hi. My name is Patrick Awino. I'm the county director in charge of the Directorate for Children's Services, Kisii County. And I'm a Kenyan. Yeah, but currently I'm here to diligently serve the citizens or the residents of Kisii County in matters child protection.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. I
was waiting for his
Edna Bonari Gatemo. Edna Bonari Gatemo works in Kisii County as a child protection champion. Okoligeria mangana ya bana buna whatever. Na kia bana bakumanya na kitoko lenda amangana gwara na kibamenyete na kitoko ba support na babase bachikugire myake etwa ikiri as interactions. So nkoro Kisii County no negasiane yinge nona kodriki.
Alright, karibu sana sa studio. Ritobeto kunyara musanga suwa. Bigo nsamba kidogo. Ndari kwanga ko charije songo takere ko beka bakanje njyo mongoja. But thank you so much for coming this morning. So, around 2 weeks ago there was a story that happened around South Mogirango, if I'm not wrong, about a case of a young girl that is said to be defiled by the owner of the orphanage. And after some alarm that was raised, I saw you people heading there, including the Principal Secretary of the State Department of Children Welfare and Social Protection, Karen Angengo. And one of our reporters by the name Camila Songeta was there, and Brian Yanke was there, and he did as a report on the same. Allow me to take you back to 2 weeks ago when this whole issue began, so that we can listen to the story, although it is done locally. So Mr. Wino, we are sorry.
Thank you.
All right, Director, let us have the first report from 2 weeks ago.
Tenrete abana boigo ebikorwa au omusubati Pauline nigobono nyarwa kaweso kena gukwanira igoro omusubati Karen Agengo na sabiro kwabera askelia no gosiekwa kwe orphanage ya Gisonso Orthodox korengana amono gutekerania ebirengo au byokogania kwagachwa kwa orphanage yo okwanekere ikyo nigoboigo bakwanire igoro yega korekemo ikyukane kibwa ase orphanage yo buna gutumanya Brian Yankeya ejemaiga yo munyaruko yo mokwenyora so muchando monene boigo asamo chirie ebitabo byoburendi ase orphanage yo hasoko mubwatoka omukagero yo kagero wikirania egekorekyo boigo nigo aboririe chiofane chinda kwenekya bunankori kyabali chi license boya bunenchire mu gwetanga asogosie kwa wechi license asaboigo aboririe chiri chiri gete bane kibunango ikirania bale ebirengo au bunenchire yemo yo kwenekinga mba igo semba ligo chigosie kerwa chiofane chejo.
Magega y'umunyarukoyomo kurwase eofanecha ya St. Peter's Regina Orthodox igotoka ime ya Gesonso ime bunge ya South Mugirango gutokekana n'umuchando nigobono abarai ao babeire bagwikarana chinsa emecho liandake kwenekia ikiabire gya kugenderera ase eofanecha yo.
We are here in this institution, St. Peter Regina Orthodox Orphanage Home and School. Why we are here is because we received information about one child who was defiled in this institution. The matter has been taken to court and the suspect is the manager in charge of this institution. This is a team of multi-agency coming from Kisii County. It is a team that is consisting of the national government, a team that has the institution that is in charge of regulating children institutions, that is the National Council for Children Services. We have come here as a multi-agency team because we are concerned about child safety in any institution in Kenya.
Nigobono bagenderete goichanira egekoro ase umukagiru yumbete kagoikirania korekyo abete kakubwata kwa ase njira ye bonda.
And when we heard that a child has been defiled and the suspect has been released very quickly on bond, we are very worried. And I want to send this message to the courts that we need to protect our children. A matter was taken to court and within a very short time, the suspect has been released to come back and children are in this institution.
Nigobono bamochire bari bonsi bayetenerete eofanecheriga asoko yegendia eterigeti na serikali asekorende baruro kuboria uchi asechi ofanechichinde kweneke bunango yerikachire na serikali nabayigo bari bonsi berigeti kweneke bunango renew bareche license chabo ilyo kwanchiro kogendera kokora emeremeyu.
We were here October last year and according to our database we had about 23 institutions that we have gone for monitoring. While we appreciate the good work some of these institutions are doing, because we know there are those ones which meet the standards, they have registered with the government, they offer adequate services and they are focused towards holistic development. However, there are those also which morph every time into one new thing. When we were coming here last year in October, these institutions were not known to our children officers. Nobody has also reported about them. Our assumption is even they may have been operating even in another place and coming, because what happens and what you have seen practically. Some of these institutions may even be coming from other counties when they have seen this inspection, this supervision going on.
Our assessment of this institution shows we have 16 children in this institution. When we assessed, we found out that this institution is not registered with us. Any institution that is holding children in this country, we call them CCIs, charitable children institutions. They should be licensed, and after every 3 years, they should renew the license. We have found out that St. Peter Regina Orthodox Orphanage Home and School is not registered with the Department of Children's Services. That means they have put children in this institution illegally against the rights and welfare of the children. And that is the reason why we are here. We feel that if we leave the children here in this institution, these children will be exposed to more danger.
Nigobono Kalen Angengo uyoromo PS o Gender and Children Service aenekire eofanechiriga nigo ya sikre kubwatikana no gosinywa gwikera ebirengo biria biganeirie.
And we want to send this message that we must protect our children. The ministry is concerned, and that is why we came today in this institution. We have closed this institution today, and we are taking away all the children we have found here. We are taking these children to a place of safety so that we only allow our children to live in places of safety. I want to urge the members of the public that should you get any information about anybody or any place where children are being held, please report to us. We shall check our system. If we find the place is not registered, we shall come to close. And any person who is found violating the law without registration will be dealt with accordingly.
Kuripoti ya Kisii Television, Njembran, Nyang.
happened, and that is the part of the conversation that we are going to have this morning. That takes me to my first question, and it goes to you, Mr. Awino. What is the current state of orphanages and children's homes in Kisii County?
Okay, what I can definitely say, the current state of charitable children's institution,
especially in relation with what that is happening, yeah?
Exactly. We nowadays call them charitable children's institution. They are not called orphanages.
Yes.
And on a light note, we usually say that orphanages are basically for animals.
Aha.
Yeah, so to be more clear and absolute, we call them charitable children's institution, which is also acknowledged by the Children Act 2022. So in reference to whatever occurred, which the operation was conducted in July 22nd by the high-level multisectoral team, but after an alarm being raised, and good enough as per the news presenter has also narrated, that is exactly what happened. And it was through our prompt action as the Directorate of Children's Services to ensure that the first child who raised an alarm was rescued, and we took her to a safe place. And as much as my senior, the CS, has said that the manager was released so abruptly, to us also it was very unfortunate, but we cannot challenge the law because everybody has a right to a bond. But now the condition was that he was supposed to be told not to step foot in that very same place. And coincidentally, when we went there, we still found the guy still there. So what we simply did was to rescue all, because the children, because initially they were 14, as much as the CS is saying they were 16, we ended up realizing the balance 2 were his real children or relatives. So we had just to leave them there. So we took these other children to a safer place, and because we have other CCIs, that's charitable children's institutions in various sub-counties, we had to distribute them to those institutions that are registered by the National Council for Children's Services through the Directorate of Children's Services, because we have an inspection team that usually carries out regular inspection on compliance of management or compliance of operations. And we do it, we have almost 2 to 3 categories of inspection. We have regular inspections, and then we have impromptu inspections, and then we have special inspections. When it comes to special inspection, it has to be triggered by an occurrence, but we don't wish or hope for such a trigger to happen. That's why we usually do routine inspection to those charitable children's institutions to ensure compliance. Yeah.
Wow. Now let us go to you, Edina. Maybe from your work of defending, maybe or being championing the children's rights, how serious is the problem, especially in around the Gusii region?
Thank you, John. I think I would say that we have a problem. Looking at the number of CCIs in Kisii County, we have 26. I think we can also confirm with that. So we have 26 CCIs in Kisii. Nechi CCI ichi nacho sokonyora Bucha na South Mugirango. Those areas na utubwata abana abangi. Bucha nere leading, and then kubwatwele na Kisii South, Kisii Bucha South. Rogembo na abana bandi bakuru South Mugirango. So abana nabangi bali institutions in Kisii So it is worrying. And the reason why it is worrying, I think even from a study, it's because and then no, you thought that among these children that were in the charitable institutions, the manager, relatives. So it means that these children are not actually orphans, or most of them are also not vulnerable. Lakini na abana babekire badampiria CCI abuto monete kokonya or prevent ebidonya ko ba community family chiabo instead of family wakoraki kobaida sekwe komanya such institution.
So actually that was supposed to be my next question. When you are saying that these children are in these homes, they weren't those who were supposed to be there. So is it kind of a business? And most especially, which kids are supposed to be taken here and by who and with which reason? Yes.
Okay, that's a good question. And I appreciate your observation and your concern. Now, when it comes to children to be admitted within the charitable children's institutions, there are very specific categories of children who are supposed to be admitted. One, there are various categories. We have all categories of children who are in need of care and protection. I can just sample some. We can talk of children who have been abandoned. We have those children who are disabled. We have those children who are on the streets. We have children who have been either neglected. We have those children who are totally orphaned and the family are destitute. I can call them. And what basically happens with the condition is that these children are supposed to be admitted within this institution as a last resort. And for the shortest time possible to enable them exit and rejoin back the community. And the condition should be more so children of tender years, 3 years and below, are not even supposed to be imagined to be taken to the institution. What we are currently advocating is alternative care placement. And if at all we talk of alternative care placement, we basically talk of the kinship care, we talk of the foster care, we talk of the guardianship, we talk of the adoption. And if at all are Muslim, those people who are professing Islamic religion, we talk of the kafala. Yeah. And then you asked me of who should admit children within the institution. Basically, procedurally. I can give an example of a prison. Cannot just admit anybody in a prison. There must be a committal order. Then to me, I don't say that these are prison. I was just giving it as an example. But for charitable children's institution, there must be a committal warrant issued by a law, a court of law, which means to present the child's case before a court of law. And then it is through your presentation conducting a social inquiry. Through that is when the committing magistrate or judge will definitely ensure that the child is committed, one, in a registered institution, because it will be a default if at all a child is committed into an unregistered institution. And then the people who should commit these children specifically is a children's officer, because we have to definitely conduct what we call a social inquiry investigations, and then we write our report, which we also give our recommendation, because even after committing that child to the institution, we will also have to prepare what we call as the exit strategy plan. She will be in the institution, because the maximum number of years a child is supposed to be in the institution is 3 years. And if at all the child has not been rehabilitated presumably in a rehabilitation school, is supposed to be renewed. You go back to court and renew the same. Okay, there are those category of recognized officers within the law who are called authorized officers. Authorized officers are only allowed to commit a child there through an interim order, and then within 24 hours inform the children's officer to do the processing of that child through court. And when it has reached the children's officer's desk, the maximum period that that child should be processed is 1 week. And the child should be having his or her committal warrant to be legally within the institution. And that's the reason why you find most people call them, those children are illegally within those institutions, because due process of the law has not been followed.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Edna, you decided to be a children's rights champion. I don't know, what are some of the abuses that you heard of that really pushed you to do this, and especially in this region?
Thank you, Joan. I would say generally, the types of abuse that are common in Kisii, we have cases of defilement. This happens to both girls and boys. You know, sometimes cases of defilement, we focus so much on the girl child, such that we forget about the boys. Yes, so the boys are also sodomized in the process. And also, when we are also looking at the offenders, mostly talk our focus on the men and we leave out the women. So, you know, all of us are offenders, we are suspects in terms of, you know, violation of children's rights, and in this case, defilement. Then we have cases of defilement. Now, what is sickening, especially for Kisii, most of the cases are done within family. Again, to get incest. Abantu bali related na bana bakoraki
na babakubasali
like bakubasali, yes. And then we have cases of cases chiko were reported teenage pregnancies initially, and a few years back. You see the border guys doing this. Yeah. Some of them are teachers, but saizi unapata they are peers. Yes. You know, adolescent and another adolescent wamepata mimba ama wamepata mimba. And these are children that are not able to take care of another child, because already they need a child and a child with a child. Yes, exactly, yes. And I know Mr. Wino will be speaking about that. What is it that is done when such a case happens? Because the Children's Act also guides, the 2022 Children's Act guides on that clearly. And then in the cases also child labor. Child labor, where you get abana bakebata bwene tukokolerasi bachire isiko bachire wakolerasi. What drives these children to child labor? It is the vulnerability status of households. Yeah, sure. Bantombara babu ati uwezo wako wa providing basic needs, especially their parents. Ono mwana once ameingia kwa child labor and they are getting something out of it. Most of them is typically bago sawacha akogende. They're able to get the 300 shillings at the end of the day. Yeah. Then now whatever comes in the mind of this teenage boy is to marry. So you find child marriages. If they marry, utapata pia naoa at 13-year-old. So it is a child and a child married. Then again, now another problem here is that now the parents of the boy will be very comfortable
having a 13-year-old girl
in the homestead without any complaints. Yeah. So it is the parents of the girl probably, and a few of them, that will be looking for this girl. And then until they give up and say, that is a decision, let her regret later. Yes, and by the time they are looking for this girl, Pia Asha pata mimba. Already now she's supposed to be called a mother. So we have those common cases, and then there's the cases of neglect and abandonment. Yeah. And this Mr. Wino mentioned, especially when alikuwa anasema the categories of children when unapata kwa charitable institutions. So these children are abandoned, and that is the reason why, for them to be safe, the Department of Children's Services looks for a place, a safer, a safe house where these children, or safe space where these children for the shortest period. Neglect, sometimes we assume the parents are not there. No, neglect happens. We have severe neglect, moderate or neglect that is mild. Like the mother has moved, they've left their children with relatives, and some of them are have also been left on their own,
so that they can manage.
Exactly. And these are children that needs guidance. So unapata, like, there is no family member that is directly responsible for these children. So
actually, when we're talking about
neglect.
that, we did a story, is it early this week or late last week, about a young girl in South Mogirango still. The mom died and the dad disappeared. So we are having she a 12-year-old girl taking care of the siblings. I don't know if you've gotten the story. Taking care of the siblings, and it is a very, very sad story. If you can see even where they are staying, even their room where they sleep, it is really, really heartbreaking. Now that takes me to you, Mr. Wino. These cases, let us go back to the young girl who raised alarm on whatever that happened in South Mogirango. So your team had to go there. This girl, in what process was she taken into that orphanage? And then we look at the root causes now that leads to these abuses in these, you said, the charitable children homes.
Okay, thank you. I've heard this a little bit unfortunate, but allow me to take you back on the categories of children in need of care and protection. We have abandonment, we have abduction, we have attempted defilement, we have cases of custody, we have physical abuse, that is violence. Then we talk of children on the street, we have child labor, child of imprisoned or detained parents, sexual assault and abuse, we have child trafficking, parental child abduction. Because here I can definitely say that a parent will casually ask you, this is my child, how do I abduct my child? Within the law, we know a child is supposed to be a government asset. We are just simply taking care of government property. And that's the reason why even abortion is not allowed while the child is still within the womb. So if at all you separate with the child, how severe will the government be ready to protect that child? Yeah. So we have child infected or affected with HIV, child in conflict with the law. Then we have defilement, child with disability, drug and substance abuse, the children who use that. We talk of child pregnancy, we talk of child marriage, those children who are emotionally abused. Then here we also talk of harmful cultural, those children who are subjected to harmful cultural practices like early marriage. And then we talk of, not early marriage, we talk of child marriage. Because you can be an adult and you get married early. Okay, the connotation, right? Then we have female genital mutilation. We talk of incest, as my colleague has said. We have disinheritance, succession, internally displaced children, or we call them child protection in emergency. We talk of lost and found, neglect, online abuse, orphan, refugee children, sexual assault, child truancy, and lawful confinement. We talk of child orphan, children out of school, sick children, more so the chronically ill. We could talk of child-headed household, like the one you've narrated. We talk of child radicalization. And child radicalization, most people don't understand it. It comes in the context whereby, you know the Shakahola story, whereby somebody is totally indoctrinated to an extent whereby they don't want to go to school, they don't want to receive medical attention. Those are the children that we separate from those toxic environment, take them to a safer place, and then offer them the services. And if possible, prosecute the caregiver or the parents in court. Then we have forced female circumcision, destitute children, and we talk of child parents. Those are the categories of cases that we handle. Then you talked of those children that at least a child-headed household, like the one you are saying is a child-headed household. We talk of case management and referral mechanism. We as children's officers, we are not everywhere. And then we really pray and plead to the public. If at all, they are our ambassadors, and they're the people who are supposed to identify those incidences where children are being subjected or exposed to exploitation and abuse, and then they notify our representatives. They notify our representatives within the sub-county, because all the sub-counties within Kisii, they have children's officers who definitely will act immediately. They'll come conduct social inquiry in collaboration with the provincial administration, nowadays known as the Ngao, be it the village elder, be it the assistant chief, and it will be escalated to where necessary. And such a child will definitely look, before we think of institutionalizing these children, what we basically do is we check around who is ready and capable of taking care of these vulnerable children. Yeah, that is our first option, and that is now the principle of alternative family care. Before we place these children within any institution, because I told you earlier that institutionalization should be a last resort.
Let me add a question there about the age. Does age matter in terms of taking these children in? Is there a preferable age?
Here we'll definitely say the caveat that we put is, if at all a child is 3 and below, we definitely say that child should not, you should not imagine taking that child to an institution, because in terms of developmental process of a child, you'll be definitely disorienting this child, because from 0 to 3 years or almost to 5 years, that is a child who needs to be mentored, nurtured well under a caregiver in a home and a family setup. Because if at all you see the structure of a charitable children's institution is somehow like mechanical. You wake up at this time, you go drink, you go to class, you go to play. So at least you find, at least you are not cultured, something like that. It's more or less like you grow, but you are now like a machine. You behave like a machine.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that, Director, I don't know if you found the report about the young girl who has been raising her siblings on her own. Apparently the dad became a drunkard, he sold everything and he disappeared. So if, Director, if you can find that report, I'll really appreciate if you can go ahead and play that video. But as of now, as we wait for him to reply, there is some follow-up cases that you people do and checkups of the these homes. How often do you do it as a ministry?
Okay, when we talk of, I told you we have 3 categories. We have the routine inspection, we have the impromptu inspection, and we have the specialized inspection. We keep a constant check, because there's what we call Charitable Children's Institutions Regulation 2005, which is a law that regulates the operations and the management of the charitable children's institutions. And apart from that, for us to do inspections, we have a structure. And the structure is headed by the DCC, Deputy County Commissioner, who is the chairperson or the chairperson of that committee. And more so, she is the head of the sub-county, because these CCIs are within the sub-counties. Then the children's officer, the sub-county children's officer, is the secretary of that subcommittee. And it is composed of the police, national police, and we talk of the security, the entire security team, which is the OCPD. We talk of the sub-county administration police commandant. There's the in charge of health. There's the public health officer. There's in charge education. Then we have any person responsible of any aspect within the institution. If at all we are going to inspect an institution where we think there are children with special needs, we also have to incorporate a person representing the National Council for Persons with Disability to come and assist us in doing the validation of why those children are there. And by the way, there's what we call push and pull factor. Why do children go to institutions? Now the issue is here, we are trying to pin down 3 conditions which should not warrant a child to be taken into an institution.
Okay.
1, poverty. No.
All right.
Education. No. Disability. No.
Okay.
Because you'll find most people will tell you, I was taken to the institution to be educated, so that I'm sponsored, so that I can be sponsored to pursue my education. You can be assisted even when you are at your family. If at all it's poverty, poverty is relative, yes, I understand, but under normal circumstances, it should not be a reason why a child is being removed from their family to an institution. The best positive trend should be 1. This family, if at all you do family assessment and you realize that this family is vulnerable, what you're supposed to do is capacity building them and economically empowering them. Because we can say, for example, they could be having even a small piece of land. But at least you empower them by now making this land productive. By just empowering them, economic, giving them income generating activity, at least to strengthen. You try your level best to strengthen this family.
All right, now I would like us to go to the other side of the studio. You did a follow-up later on the South Mogrango case. I have the story too. We're going to do it later. But as of now, I want us to do the story, the one that I've said of the vulnerable kids that are taking care of themselves at home. But at the same time, when we're coming back, the first question goes to you. I want to understand most of the cases that they are aware of, you also know them. What is this pattern? You as a children's champion, what are these patterns that you've come up with? You've realized that kuna mahali utasikia kitu imefanyika and you'll be like, tena, this is oftenly happening in specific areas and it is really alarming. But as for now, let us listen to this story, still done by Brian Nyankier.
Msichoke mnapomba, niko nanyi na msife mioyo, japo mateso yakiwasumbua, niiteni na nitaitika.
Erion neriogiria ye Felma Nyanchoka mwarkigwa bwe grade gya gatano na kabere ase skuru ya Manywanda oyo asomwa koyo mabono oireri bakaria koba umuiburi bw'abana ba mwabo neje makega yangina gusira omwako eta na ise gutamanyikana asare wikabono iga engana egenderete koleta umuichano umonene mono.
Manyanzi kumbasa kutoka Manywanda B, niko katika gredi ya 7. Nilikuwa nasema mama wangu alikufa, babangu alienda sijui bali alienda, hata
na watoto waliachwa mayatima. Mama yao alifariki last year. Baba yao tujui alienda wapi, ni mlevi. Yeye anauza vitu kwa nyumba, watoto hawana chochote kwa nyumba, ameuza yote, amekunywa nayo pombe, amepotea.
Velma boigoni gabeire gagotwerera igoro ya makongu nabo igemechanda abeire kagwetera ekero akobarera abana baiga bamwabo.
alienda, hata tunalala nje, tunalala chini, hatuna kitu ya kulalia, tunalala chini. Hata shule tukienda tunafukuza pesa, hatuna pesa za kulipa. Tunakuja nyumbani tunakaa. Asubuhi mimi natengeneza uji alafu ndio naenda shule, ndio nachelewa kufika shule. Hata hatuna nguo za kuvaa, hatuna kitu chochote.
Oyo litie kerasi rete yatigete omwana omoke obwate emiaka 2. Omwana oyibono iga ingina koro omoire tagachi kumurenda abana baiga omwana omonene iyakurukunyanchoka iyachandegete emiaka yaye nemeke yachandegete omwana aboke mambi aruosie erongori agende esukuru ogoicha saa 7 nero korosi endagera ririmu nakonya korosi chinsa chiachire onyoriru abana bande ata goisi bachaka baira na nchara mwana ona bachandegete kene ngeyo bakori nonyana kero twachire tukurigiria sa abana aba bakorara iyo bakorara neti iguru kene ngeyo bakwebisi urange timbo iyo nonyene egento bakorara none getanda ngeyo bakorara nsamara baiguru
bono nokoboria kurwa sabana baiga nabo baiga bamatebe chinsa mechiga uchasonde bwensi uratoro moyo muya bogokonya nabo baiga baraibe bunge iga ya South Mugirango kubaikange na kubakonya abana baiga.
Naomba watusaidie tusome, tupate kazi tunafanya, kila mtu ajisaidie.
Kwa naomba kama hao watoto wanaweza saidiwa watoke hapa nyumbani waende orphanages mzuri wasaidiwe huko wasome, alafu wapate mfadhili ambaye atawasimamia waweze kumaliza masomo yao. Kwa maana
moranje serikali yeito yo minto soro ayene ntakana gwatigarite origina echi ntakana chia mino muna gwakinire tobokongu nayo origia abana bachandegete onyare kubakonya nyasaye
tokoboria serikali enyare kororera abana bamabera anene mongina doli stonya toto esokenyuri omora yisirivana siosoro nkora mbuyo gokwana sikaria tuwajire korienjera togoikera gwatoborire igatokobori na kia abana bagokonyeka bagende sukuru ase kinyoreke kende nkeyo na bantu twachira temu twesona nime ntubwati kende
ningana egenderete gwichania bange anene kurwa chinsa mechiga asebono koboria nabo ikogosemeria koreo ng'onde nachigwesokia na kwenekia bunanko bakonya are abana baiga. Kuripotira Kisii Television kurega segwadi ya Boikanga ebunge ya South Mugirango county ya Kisii Njembran Nyankia.
All right, this is how things are happening on the ground. For ground, literally different. I saw this story and I was so heartbroken. I even asked my people, can we just decide and even give out my number so that we can even do something small, even if it's just food for just a day, so that we can take there, you know, because it is so breaking to say such a type of story. And these cases are there. We can't say that it is the end of the story. There is even maybe a more heartbreaking one than this one. So, what can we say, for instance, in this situation, when you get a story like this, what steps do you take before you go to the patterns?
Okay, what I can say, we are sorry for the incident, but I usually take myself back and say, we the Africans, we are a social communal society. So more so, we cannot be so much of a reliant on the government, idea. It's more so that if at all an incident happens within the community, let's first come in and assist, and then there's what we call case management and referral. I do believe the provincial administration, that is through the national government, administrative officers. They know this. They're supposed to be the link between the community and our office, and it is through our office, the churches, we can reunite ourselves to assist such vulnerable families. Okay, I understand the statement from the guy who has said that at least the child to be taken to an orphanage, which to us, it is not that advisable, and it's not going to help for a long, because a child to be committed in an institution, as I told you, 3 categories we don't take in: poverty, disability, and education. What we definitely have to do is to resource mobilize and assist the family to be able to be stable and become resilient in everything. The father, I don't know, he's supposed to be summoned, and we hold his hand and walk him through, because some could be out of desperation, some could be out of frustration. It's not out of grief. That's why I'm saying it's out of desperation. So it's not automatically that if at all you find a father or a mother doing that, I don't believe there is a mother or a father who can deliberately neglect or abandon his children, because we are all for good for our children. But for it to reach to that extreme, this guy is totally broken. He needs just to be brought back, given counseling, supported, so that he comes and holds the hands of his children and move along with them, but through the support of the government, because that one cannot be an issue of prosecution, because you prosecute him, you've even spoiled everything. So I would definitely advise anybody who is listening to us within, let us just plead for that family to be identified and to be assisted through the intervention of relevant authorities, including my office in South Mugirango. I believe that is Gucha South. Yeah. So that at least the family to be assisted. And then what I also wanted to say, the law is also very clear. We understand there are misfortunes that befalls families, but we tend to discourage siblings from being separated. Let the siblings just be together. Let them be assisted together. Because if at all it's at long run, let me give an example. One child is placed in one of the CCAs in Gucha South, the other one is taken to Marani, the other is brought to Kisii Town. Then as they grow, later, you find them meeting, even by God's grace, they meet in colleges. They will not know if at all they are siblings. And in the process of engagement, you find that they are siblings. So they end up producing an incest child. So you see, so that's the reason why we want them to be within their family. And 2, the reason why we try our level best to insist that they be assisted within the family is more so that to avoid disinheritance. Because you'll find there are people who are somehow like malicious within the community, so that if at all they are removed, they take that opportunity of grabbing. So it will be now an uphill task again to do what? To recover. But the law is very clear. Anybody who meddles with the property of a child, be ready to go in either for 10 years or something like 5 million plus fine. So dare not go to that area.
All right. Now, what are some of the patterns that you come up with, especially in the region?
Thank you, John. I think before I go there, let me just add something in especially in the local language, based on what Mr. Wina has mentioned. Abana mbabwate children's rights. Mbabwate rights wonde wensi human rights. Ndobwate categories inye. Ndobwate survival rights. Barwarire bairunya gitari banyora mariogo abana babwenete in terms of nutrition banyora indagire balanced ere balance sometimes ekero to kwana ndo bakubonga ne to na kirege indagire balance is just within the community. It is just a matter of na king understand ye valinga king ke collect vitamins, carbohydrates, proteins ikaroko ni magena kugora mandas. Yes. Yes, and then under survival rights pia into what the issue of shelter, and that is what we are also talking about. Abana babono babwente bakoleki banyore ase baba bakoleteki a roof over their head as bakorara bakuruka jomba asagia kero baotenga bana bakorara igoro net. How safe and how comfortable are these children kero bakorara igoro net on the ground ya samaravansi. And then we have protection rights. Protection rights ni chokulinda abana ko protect bakoleki, and that is why also Mr. Wino was mentioning that ndo kwa igoro ya orphanages. Bono, it is the community, it is the responsibility of the family, the community, the CSOs bona abantu bunantu, the paralegals around, kubeka namo, and the area administration or the gatekeepers, una chief, kubeka namo, korana kitoko nya bana. Ekiara, we have an immediate neighbor, we have an immediate family members. Nkitu akolite ntuna family members before toira bana barai as a orphanage. So I wanted to emphasize it is our responsibility. What is our role in terms of supporting these children? Before you can honor as a children officer, what is the role of the immediate family? What is the role of the community? What is the role of the gatekeepers? That is what I'm trying to emphasize.
Exactly.
When you talk embrace and think of so many cases before to get on a politician so that you say because it is long term. Ekero tanga kusema tanga toire sukari toire yanga esukari yanga it will expire in the next 1 week, but again if we have the family support system strengthened, then this is something that umwana we ataendelea na masomo yake kama kawaida na watoto wengine pia watachukuliwa kama kawaida. Now I go to the cases that you are mentioning, the patents, especially the patents, and I will still now revisit now what we are discussing, the issue of disinheritance. I would want to point out that disinheritance in ikoju, and with special focus on children and adolescents living with HIV. Yes. You find given noere no area bana, they could be biological children balianyorete kosa bana be endugu yaye kosa bana bamwisiko mwa bamenyete ne. Then umonda esali ni sabu agetenga na ki how so that I'm able to inherit this capital. And the fact that Kisi, the land is, it's so scarce. Yes, but sometimes also may contribute to now people having that malicious thinking about how to now take over properties for these children that are vulnerable. So it is very common in Kisi, and especially I would want to point out some of the cases that we've resolved even from the previous probably years. Nyamache sub-county. Bobasi sub-county, and especially Nyamache, we have so many cases of such. Yes. Mr. Wino mentioned that when these children are separated, sometimes when they come back to the community doesn't recognize them. Yeah. A few years back, we had a case in Nyamache where such a person became a victim. Alikuwa kwa orphanage for like 18 years. And now after 18 years, he wanted to go back to the roots and apatiwe vitu zake. Going back, the person was accused of having defiled a stepdaughter. So when they were doing now the Department of Children's Services wakaanza kufuatilia with the police, then they realized now the child was coached, the stepdaughter was coached by the uncle.
To go and use the same
exactly, yes. So that they get rid of the uncle because they see the uncle as a stranger. The uncle now, the brother, as a stranger because the brother went
to
a children's home. Then the father married another woman. Then they gave birth. Then the father died. So this firstborn has never been recognized in the community. It's like now, walisema huyo sio wetu or something. So it is the grandmother, when the boy came back, it is the grandmother that now was recognizing that, you see, this is my, yes. And then we have, child trafficking again. There is an active case that is even ongoing where we Kisii, but the issue of child trafficking is also like worrying. Yeah. How would you sell a child for 15,000 shillings?
I saw the case actually.
For one cow.
Home.
Yes.
I saw it happen just 1 month ago in Nyamira County. I don't know so far imefika wapi. In fact, my cousin was just telling me, imagine nani alilea mimba miezi 9 akajifungua akiwa amepeana mtoto akapewa 20,000 and she's asking me 20,000 and I'm like, eh? Yeah, so I'm worried that that will happen.
Yeah, so like there is a case in court where in one of the sub-counties, that is Nyaribari Masaba, where we had somebody anaambia wa mama, oh, I have this clinic here, I will be supporting you for free, kuja ni kusupport upate mtoto. Then somehow we don't know what happens.
Along the way.
Yes. And I don't want to speak much about it, but then the women are swayed to leave the children up, the children disappear and then they are sold. So it is a cartel. So even as the children's department and the authorities are following up on the case, funnily enough, the offender disappeared, or the suspect. After disappearing, it has been reported that ameenda akafungua another branch somewhere in one of the sub-counties again. Yeah, so it is a cartel and we are discouraging that. A generation ya ito ya mambi, naba. Yes, we have this leadership that we currently have in for example, in Kisii County. A few years back, they didn't know that they would be leaders. So we could be selling our own future governor to Tanzania or to the other side of the, other counties. Yeah, so let's again back to that. All the sub-counties in Kisii, we are wondering what is happening. Currently, Nyaribari Masaba is also reading. We also have where some of these cases zinakuwa actively reported in court. So the sub-counties of the sensitization has already been done at the grassroots level, such that now people, the community members are able to come and report these cases. But again, these cases are alarming, and we can only now put our efforts together. Tobe kama efforts cheito amonga ito na resources chirito bwate, so that we support these cases abana abanyole justice. Because few years to come, Mr. Wino has mentioned that sometimes when you see a drug addict and you're like, you are judging them. Yeah. You do not know the root cause of all this. So a few years to come, these same children who are currently now victims will be parents, will be adults. They will not be trusting anyone or the community or the leadership within the community. Back end up, yes, even though they're very, very funny, or even now start abusing drugs.
All right.
Yes.
Wow, that is beautiful. I want us to go back to the other side of the studio so that we can do a video on the follow-up that you did in South Mogirango. But coming back, I can say the time is really rolling out, and we'll be signing out in a few, like 10 minutes.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to cut you. As per whatever data she's giving, as per our Kisii case load for financial year 2024, 2024-2025, we have, I can just give the total narration. Huh? When it comes to neglect, we have 1,563, which is within our system. When we talk of custody, we talk of 336 children. Yeah. Then if at all we talk of abandonment, there's number 3, we talk of 145.
Abandoned children.
Yeah. Then if at all we talk of abduction, we talk of 51. When we talk of defilement, but this defilement is disaggregated because you'll find defilement cases are reported at the police, which they're not escalated to our database. Okay. Or you find some are being reported through other agencies, but they are not brought to us. So the ones that reach our desk, as per, we have 46. 46. Then we have parental child abduction, what I was talking about, we have 42. Then we have child out of school, 22. Then we have physical abuse, that is violence, we have 21. Children on the street, as per our data, we have 21, but I'm going to give you the current data of children on the street because we conducted a street family census just last month, presumably, and we have a data in a disaggregated manner of how many boys, how many girls. But per our system, we identified 19. Missing child, that is lost and found children, we have 14. Then emotionally abused children, we have 14. Then as per what my colleague is talking about, trafficked children, as per our data, we have 8. Then child truancy. Truancy simply means those children who, if at all you talk of schools, they are not in good terms with school. That is the definition of truancy. There are 5. Then we talk of child marriage. In our system are 5. Then we talk of child radicalization, in bracket the Shakahola pattern. We have 4. Then we have child offenders. There are 4. We have inheritance or succession, what my colleague is talking, cases that we are having at 3. When we talk of incest, as per our data, we have 2. Sodomy, we have 2. Sexually exploitation and abuse, we have another 2. Child pregnancy, we have 2. Child labor, 2, but I know the numbers are large. Then we have internally displaced children, we have 2, and then sexual assault, we have 1. So in total, we have 2,315. And then we have them disaggregated in terms of sub-counties. So which I'll definitely, because time is running out, I'll definitely share the same with you. Yeah, so that we can definitely talk of the situation. And then we also wanted to talk of whatever, we also provide bursary. The total number of children that we give bursary are 422 children.
Okay, that is among my questions, actually, as we're going to conclude this conversation. We'll be talking about what support do survivors of abuse receive, be it legally, mentally, medically, emotionally, what kind of support they get. And also you tell us from your end, are there enough resources and personnel to effectively monitor all these children's homes in the county? But as of now, let us listen to the report where you people went back to do a follow-up on the orphanage, if it is still under closure, and other, I am told there were other charitable homes that were closed in South Mogirango. Let us listen to the report, and then we'll be back. We'll be signing out.
Okay. We are here as a multi-sectoral team. My name is Kennedy Owino. I work for the National Council for Children's Services, based in Nairobi. The National Council for Children's Services is the regulating agency on matters of children. As you are aware, we were here on the 25th of last month with the PS in charge of children matters, Madam Karen Agengo, when we closed one of the institutions, which was reported a case of alleged reporting of defilement of a minor who was under their care. As a regulating agency, it was observed that there are a number of institutions that were not known. By that time, there were 3. So consequently, we formed a multi-sectoral team with the members of the Children Advisory Committee under the leadership of the NCCS and the DCC in charge of this sub-county, Mr. Towet. The team comprised of members from the security team of this sub-county, membership from the public health, membership from education, membership from all Ngao officers. And we went round the institutions. We managed to visit 11 institutions that were previously not known to the government to be operating in this sub-county only. It is reported here, for the purposes of clarity, that out of those institutions, only one institution was confirmed to be a school within the meaning of the Basic Education Act. So we have closed 10 charitable children institutions that were operating here illegally, contravention of the Children's Act, in particular Section 65, which calls upon all of them to have registration from the National Council for Children's Services within the State Department of Children Services for them to operate. Today, we are crowning it up with a meeting with all the chiefs and assistant chiefs, as you can see, to agree on the enforcement of those directives. We want also the chiefs to ensure that the institutions that have been closed are closed. And should they attempt to operate, they should liaise with the relevant agencies. Madam ACC is here on behalf of the DCC and all the security agencies, and then they'll be brought to book for violating the rights of the children and being in contravention of the Constitution and the Children Act. We have also agreed and resolved that we are going to be very vigilant and report any agency, any organization that purports to be supporting children in this sub-county without the knowledge of the relevant government agencies. We are working on case management. There are some of these institutions which are under investigations, and I'm very sure that within a very short time, depending on the progress reports we have received, the investigative agencies will finalize their work. We managed to rescue a number of children from these institutions. Interestingly, these were children of surviving parents. And as the team witnessed, the parents came for their children. Yet they are branded as orphanage. What is an orphanage? Who is an orphan? We left wondering, at what time did they die? At what time did they resurrect? So for the ones that were not able to locate their parents or their families, the sub-county children officer, Mr. Cheruyot, is here with this team, is working on case management for integration. We are sending a notice and a warning to those institutions to surrender themselves to the government and release children. We are not going to relent on our regulatory role, and I want to congratulate and thank in a very special way the Sabucha South Sub-County Children Advisory Committee for the collaboration, for the support in executing this mandate. May God bless the children of this country. May God bless the children of Gucha South.
All right, that is Kennedy Owino while he was talking about, what was he talking about again?
He was talking about the follow-ups of the inspection of all the incident that took place in Gucha South.
So that is where we come with, are there enough resources and personnel to help you with doing the same exercise?
I can say we are moderate because under normal circumstances, we have the multi-sectoral team because as you've seen in that clip, we are liaising with all relevant authorities within the government, and there's a structure to assist us in doing the monitoring and follow-up of the instructions given by our seniors. So it's more or less like we are on the ground, and I can definitely even give you an update information. There's even another institution that we went and closed in Keumbu, and the unfortunate part of it, the previous day when we went to saw all the children, the following day because we went without the rescue van, but by the time we went, deliberately and consciously, this lady decided to lock these children in a store, and we had to use all means for the children to be removed, and we had to take them to a safe place. Currently, We are preparing, we took her to the Central Police Station, Kisii, and by law, she was bonded, and we are still preparing the documentation, and 100% surety we must take the managers plus those people who are within this institution to court.
All right.
And I can definitely raise a concern to the Kisii fraternity, which I've found it very unique.
All right.
And this one, I'm just sending it a firm and a very firm warning. Because under normal circumstances, it is totally dehumanizing. If at all, a very mature, sober person can sit down and start using children for his own or her own enrichment, and the children as disparately languishing under their custody. Because what we learned out of this is more or less like the family members are being educated with money being supplied by donors to educate and do whatever they could do of their enrichment, and the children are languishing in poverty within the institution.
Let me shtaki someone. In Migori County, there is a place I used to stay, and kwa hizo land venye tunakaa pale nje kumekuwa sijui help and sijui something, these motivational quotes, and then later I asked why mbona hizi vitu zimewekwa hivi. Then they told me no, with this person here mwenye hizi nyumba anatafuta funding kutoka huko nje, anasema anasaidia watoto. So when these people say they are coming, request tunatoka in our beautiful homes when we set up, anakusanya watoto kwa village, anaweka pale and gives them a script. Wakikuja wataona watoto wanateseka, and they live in comfortable places and everything, the support they need is this and that, and then they leave, atatupigia masimu, rudini. Actually, nilihamisha the following month. I never had to stay there anymore, and I came to realize it happens, and the husband is a pastor actually, and anafanya hivyo. Yeah.
And then it's very unfortunate. Human beings can do unthinkable things
to get money.
What we are simply pleading for, the eye of the government is the public. Be alert and inform us of any malpractices, and God forbid. Most of these orphanages are opened by pastors, reverends, bishops, and whatever. Then you find, and then the submission of these children, you'll get that these children are being admitted in those institutions through, what do you call them? A religious crusade, or they are being submitted by the chiefs and the assistant chiefs without even informing the children's office. So under normal circumstances, we are not going to allow that malpractices. And if at all we find such an incident, we will leave no stone unturned, and whatever the connection those people will be having, they will be doomed.
Before you sign out, of course, I would like you to talk to give a message to the managers of those homes, and also to the public. What kind of message you'd like to give? Let us sign out with you faster. I would like you to maybe suggest, are there any changes you believe that should happen in order to protect the children's dignity and safety?
Thank you so much, John. I believe yes. I know that there are efforts that have been put. But the national government, county government, bakolira mange in terms of ensuring dignity ya bana. Kumayanka koranga bana bamenyeta se ubwanje ninkonyora baru ubwanje ni boisa ine na maskani isa ine asoboliri bwabo. Lakini ntraiko we still have a lot to be addressed. Na onekero tukwa ni gobono igoro ya mangana ya CCI. Ekartole kuwa na magaga ntwa bolinga nkiekegeko gara abana bakwenda CCI asenge ncho bible tokuba toma guche CCI. It's like a dumping site twabaira guchiari tutigari tokora biashara toira abana chiboarding tutigari tokora biashara twatiga abana babweneta koba the first 1000 days cho mwana very important ikenda socialization yego koruna lyo mwana yatagete care libone from a close person, motherly love, fatherly love, elindo mwana akoreki akini inki government ya ito era akore elindo koreki ko ensure that this continues. I would kindly request that the county takes lead in terms of initiating family strengthening initiatives. Yes, chi agencies in Kisii in a small way in Kotemabari, lakini for sustainability purposes, then the government must take lead. We have we are requesting that they do the finalization of the child policy, child protection welfare policy. Koru elinde it is launched because policy enere gochokonya allocation, budgeting and allocation ya child protection issues cha county ya Kisii. Issues is chons to kuwa na the 2000 and something cases. The issues of neglect, the issue of defilement, the issues of Ekerwe government, itubwate budget as Kisii county government, it will be easier for these cases to be characterized. Kire sub county to my trafficking ayo koru na kia koru na kito create awareness to our community members. Do we have a budget for that? Household economic strengthening initiatives, buna income generating activities. These parents, poverty does not warrant you kora kikoenda sa institution. So, to work with the parents, with the caregivers, pamanya kibago provide abana aba gusina bakongwa biashara, they are hard working. If they are supported, I think the mothers, the fathers can be able to support their children. Social welfare programs exist. Mr. Wino had mentioned the issues of issue of presidential bursary. Abana mbatige sukuru, especially total orphans, the government supports. But upon doing assessment and really komanyanga abana, they are really the actually total orphans. We have so inua jamii. So many people have benefited from this. Lakini are they putting the benefits to the right use? Are they prioritizing yo mwana? Wherever prioritize yo mwana baba angena barabu child participation, they'll be able to support these children. Then lastly, or second last, rescue centers. If for example to limit abana kwenda kwa charitable institutions, could we have you know, the government, the county government planning for you know, professional rescue centers within Kisii that are formal, with formal professionals who are able to give quality services? Yes, Avanava. And then I wanted to also say system strengthening. We have structures already as a community. And from this clip, umesikia Mr. Kennedy akisema that the sub-county Children Advisory Council assisted in this process. Yoko follow-ups and even identification of those cases in South Mugirango. It means that we have to empower these committees to coexist so that they're able to assist, identify these issues at sub-county level, at ward level, and even at community level. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, what message would you like to give to the managers of these the charitable children's institution and the public also?
Okay. What I would definitely wish to pray for is more so, all is not lost, and I usually advocate that working for the children is not a job.
Okay.
This is a passion and it's a vocation. So what I usually say in Kiswahili, tenda wema, nenda zako subiria baraka zako. And let us not be malicious. And I can say not all of them. Let them not wasikue na tension kusema ya kuwa huyu jamaa haoni mazuri yale tunayatenda. No. Some are working diligently. They are very professional. They are very passionate of their work, and they definitely do the right thing. But the few that are basically now spoiling the field are the ones who they are supposed to assist us to identify, so that at least they be screened and wiped out. Because we are handling very, very vulnerable and very, very delicate beneficiaries, who are the children, who are already tayari walikuwa wanateseka. Sasa tukiwatoa pale tuwalete within the institutions, we are supposed to uplift them, give them that hope that all is not lost. Right? So my disclaimer is, not all CCIs are bad. That's number one. Number two, the managers managing the CCIs Some are very professional, they consult, and what I usually say is that when in doubt, please consult, and you will be, because we are here as professionals. The government definitely brought us here knowing our capacity that we are here to deliver to the people of Kisii County. Number two, this work cannot be done by only us, because I know there are two-tier government, the national and the county government. These are the people of Kisii County government. So, partnering with the county government is absolutely pertinent to an extent that what my colleague has said, the county child protection policy will definitely act as a blueprint and as a guide to enable us sort and elevate the children of Kisii County from all these miseries. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing with Omogusi. Thank you so much for sharing this information. Thank you so much to my producer for ensuring that everyone has already gotten this information out there. Thank you so much to my fans. I haven't read the messages, but I for sure tell you the responses from the people. Because of time, allow me to conclude this conversation here. So let me say I'll see you tomorrow, but maybe one last word for Mogusi.
Kwaherini, ningejua hiyo lugha ningeongea.
Twanchane tulenga wana baitu na ndembia muna efforts chitwa bikire ko make sure ngamba gende tukina ina health way.
Na ntembia muna so kunyara gusanga nenche twara litko ligia nyasayo yo. Tomera nankyo.
Bye bye.